Hi there. I am Dr. Becky with yours as a psychologist and a counselor. I am here to share some insights and help your understanding about the mind. So today actually marks the beginning of our Ask Dr. Becky series, where I intend to answer your questions about mental health using modern science and practical tips. I'm so excited to be here today. And so what I've done is I've asked my community to send some anonymous questions to me to answer. So let's move forward and read the first one, shall we? I've asked Sarah, my friend, to come in and help assist in reading this letter from one of our subscribers.
And I read it before we got on the call, and I'm excited to hear how you answered this because this is something that I think I and a lot of people in my community have thought about too. So here's your letter. Dear Dr. Becky, I'm writing to you with a heart full of hope, yet plagued by constant disappointment. For as long as I can remember, I've always believed that happiness is just around the corner, waiting for me at a next big milestone. When I was in school, I thought I'd be happy when I graduated. And then I decided, I think I'll just go get my dream job to be happy. And then after that, I thought I'll be happy when I find the perfect partner. But here I am with a great job and a loving relationship, still feeling an unexplainable emptiness. It's as if happiness is a destination that I'm forever chasing, but I never get there. Every time I achieve what I thought would make me happy, the goalpost just moves further away. Why can't I just be happy with what I have? Is happiness a real state of being, or is it just a fleeting illusion that we chase in vain? I'm tired of constantly looking ahead for happiness, only to find it slipping through my fingers. How do I break free of this cycle and find contentment in the present? I'm really needing your guidance.
Oh, thank you for reading that, Sarah. And thank you for our reader and subscriber for writing that, because I just want you to know it is such a common theme that I have seen in my practice and working with clients over the years. So common, in fact, that I chose this letter to be our very first one. So many people can resonate with your heartfelt letter because it is, right, a common misconception that many of us hold, that somehow that happiness is a destination to be reached through external achievements. Like you said, how can I just be happy? If we don't always know the answer to that, we seek happiness in external opportunities and achievements, just as you have. So expecting situations, achievements, people to provide you with happiness is really faulty thinking. I know that sounds harsh, huh? But in reality, it's really not possible to achieve happiness that way. So guess what? It is time to change how you think about it. Happiness is really more akin to a journey, a state of being that we actually cultivate within ourselves internally, irrespective of external circumstances. Yeah, it's internal, not external. If we understand that, it changes our perception and how we look at happiness. The happiness state of being is usually described as an emotional state that is characterized by feelings of contentment, joy, and satisfaction. In fact, happiness is an emotion, is it not? And emotions do come and go. Just as sadness, fear, anger, we aren't always going to feel happy. Hopefully, we're not always going to feel fear or sadness, right? So I think if we recognize that, that becomes a whole different perspective. And it's important to recognize that it's not that permanent, constant state for most people, because of the fact that it is an emotion state and it's transient and it fluctuates in response to various life situations, circumstances, and sometimes even our biochemical factors in our brain. So people can indeed say that they're happy, and they may be genuinely happy in that moment and may feel overall contentment and happiness in that particular period of their lives. However, it's crucial to understand that happiness is not a fixed condition that one attains and then it just stays there indefinitely. I think that would be pretty amazing if that could be attained, but I think we can also see how unrealistic that is, and hence understand why that's not rational, right? Rather, happiness is dynamic and it's a subjective experience that can really vary from one person to person and even from one moment to another moment. Furthermore, some individuals may find that what brings them happiness may be different than what brings happiness to somebody else. For example, I know people that will tell me that happiness feels like a sense of peace and contentment, or others that might say that they feel happy when they have fulfillment or a sense of purpose in their life. I suggest that you also explore what truly makes you feel fulfilled and content beyond what the society says that will cause you to be happy or result in happiness. So we do have to struggle against the standards and expectations of our society. But if we understand that they're not realistic, it makes it a little bit easier. Happiness often lies in the things that we are passionate about, whether it's a hobby, our family, volunteering, spending time in nature, or connecting with a higher being. It's so important to realize that while goals and achievements are great to have and they can bring us joy and satisfaction, they are not the sole providers of happiness, especially continued sense of peace and joy in life. Happiness is not waiting for us at the end of a promotion or in the heart of a perfect partner. It is actually woven into the fabric of our everyday life and our internal perspective. I want you to think of it as a river of happiness is in our everyday lives, in the things that we do in the moment. So maybe start by shifting your focus from future achievements to present moments, using mindfulness and gratitude, which can be powerful tools in that regard, by trying to find the joy in the small things in everyday life. That could be the warmth of the sun, a walk down the road, a good meal, even a smile from a stranger. Maybe these moments seem insignificant, but they really are building the blocks of a contented life, which is probably a better word than saying a happy life, since happiness is fluctuating and always changing. So remember, also, it's okay not to feel happy all the time. Acknowledging those negative emotions that we do feel when we go through different struggles, sadness, we're going to have those emotions, and acknowledge them is crucial for our emotional well-being, and in fact is a sign of emotional intelligence. So if you're going through difficult situations, maybe try looking at the good things in them. For example, recognizing the importance of growth, which comes from difficult situations and being challenged, which helps give us greater insight, perspective, maybe empathy for others that may have gone through the same thing. So look for those positive things. Also, lastly, if you find that the sense of emptiness, especially is persistent and overwhelming, it really might be helpful to speak to a mental health professional, because they can provide guidance and strategies that are tailored specific to you. Remember, more than anything, happiness is not a distant land to be reached, but a path to be walked step by step with awareness and acceptance. That river of happiness is something that we need to see in our everyday life. So thank you again for sharing this very heartfelt letter that actually is going to help, I think, a lot of other people too in their quest, right? We all have a quest to have happiness, greater contentment, greater satisfaction in our life. But just remember again, it comes from within, not from without. And thank you to all of those who have tuned in today. I want to know what other questions you might have about happiness. So please just drop your questions in the comments for me to answer. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to build a life full of meaningful moments. Remember, your mind matters, so you matter. Can't wait to see you next week. Bye-bye.